what we're doing now is very much new. It's
Mm-hmm.
you opened up this door. I
Mm.
2 months ago, I'd never imagined that I would sit here and go out on air
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
even speak English.
Yes.
I also discovered Chat GPT, and
Mhm.
it's so fun. I'm
Mm.
very aware of the risks we're
Yeah,
taking, but
yeah.
I think that could be and has the potential to be a really democracy um, tool
Mm.
because if many people use it, we're
Mm.
gonna shape it so
Yeah,
it
sure.
will
Create
benefit
something
us.
new, right? Create
Yeah.
something new with it's basically a tool for just like the internet when it came, right? I
Hmm.
remember when I started creating my first email, for example, I think I was
Yeah.
16 or something,
Mm.
and that was huge, right? Just to
Yeah.
be able to like before then, I would write letters, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
now
Yeah.
if you just look at what's happened in the past 30 years, it's been
Mm.
tremendous,
Yeah.
and I think so. This is a different tool that we can use to help
Mm.
us. We don't even know where we're going with it yet,
No.
but it has potentials. Yeah.
Yeah, and it speeds up everything, and it takes so
Mhm.
long to sit on and try to Google everything.
Mm.
Sit there for hours, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just write in your
yeah,
prompt, and then you
yeah,
get all this. And
yeah.
it's very fun because I can speak astrology with
Mm.
ChatGPT, and
Ah,
it does extremely good
okay.
interpretation. It knows everything, all different kinds of astrology. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you have a tutor or like
Mm.
your own
Yeah,
twin, your
yeah,
digital
yeah, yeah,
twin,
yeah.
but it can talk about anything and
Interesting.
give. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
have very interesting
yeah.
dialogues when I look at my own chart and how what do you think about this
Mm.
aspect and yeah,
Amazing.
so yeah, it is amazing.
And
It's
you also have the knowledge to interpret it, to see,
yeah,
oh wow, this is
yeah,
really well done, right? So I
yeah.
think that's the point that I feel is very important, that it is an amazing tool, but we also
Hmm.
have to keep our knowledge in order to interpret it,
Oh yeah,
so
and
we
you
don't
can't
lose
just
that. Yeah.
if you give it your birth dates, it will
Mm.
be a very it's nothing you
Ah,
get out of it. So
okay.
you need to ask qualified questions
Ah,
and know what do you think about this pattern,
ah,
and
ah,
you need
ah,
to use the special terms
fantastic.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ask
So for learning
special.
things and like engaging
Mm.
with a tool, then it's really could be quite amazing, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm thinking, for example, so let's say you're in school, right? So I remember having teachers where if I asked them, oh, I don't understand this, can you explain it? Then they would say
Mm.
it the same way because they didn't really understand it either. But if you're in school and you
Mm.
ask ChatGPT, can you please explain this to me
Mhm. Mhm.
in a very simple way, for
Yeah.
example, then you could
Mhm.
probably get an explanation that
Yeah,
will help you like move forward in some physics
definitely.
area where you were like didn't really understand it before. Like it
Yeah.
gives you a nice summary, yeah.
Mhm.
So I could see it being applied very much for learning, for sure,
Yeah.
right?
And we are developing stuff because there is a very interesting, very old theory about group dynamics and
Mm,
leadership, and a psychoanalytic scientist,
mm,
Wilfred Bion. I don't know how to
yeah.
pronounce his name, but he, I just thought that, oh, there must be, we need to develop it now because we're going into this new age. And I presented my idea to ChatGPT, and
Ah,
oh, you're so bright, and it always wants to please you and tell you how intelligent you are.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
And then we you know back and forth
Mm-hmm.
exchanged ideas about how we could, you know, create new um, theories in
Mm-hmm.
within
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm. Amazing.
field.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
So,
it is, it is very much about power now.
Mm, mm. So it's like having a buddy who has the same interests as you, right? I mean, has all the interests if you think about it, because everything's in there. But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that can relate to you and have the same interests in you that you can bounce ideas off if you
yeah.
want to. Sorry, I have this like thing going on in my throat. I apologize. So there's very that's really awesome.
Yeah, so we co-create and we have
Hmm.
uh, fun.
And also, just like the internet, that kind of leveled out the playing field, but between large corporations and smaller upcoming business. This is bringing back to your point now. This is going to level out the playing field between governments and humans
Yeah,
because humans
definitely.
are
Yes.
not going to have access to
Hmm.
the same amount of information at just
Hmm.
being like, hey, I want to know about, this. And we'll get the information like this, right? And so there'll be a much more of like a transparency, right? No longer can you say, oh, this is no, don't worry about that. No, but because I can easily go into Chat GPT and say, oh, but I should worry about it because this is what, the statistics are saying, for example, right? So nothing can be like hidden. Yeah?
No, 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 no. So
Mm.
that's the democracy process.
Yeah,
It's democratizing
yeah,
power.
yeah,
That's exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about. That's
Yeah.
the Pluto in Aquarius. That's
Mhm.
the main purpose now for
Mm.
20 years.
Yeah. And I see this as from what you've been talking about, is it's very much can be something that where each individual has at their fingertips so much more knowledge and information and resources,
Yeah.
that you before had to pay a lot of money for,
Yeah.
right? To
Yeah.
get to things
Hmm.
compiled in a certain way, right?
Mm.
Or
Mm.
spend a lot of time too, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, if you wanted to develop your idea of bringing this theory, into some kind of, you would have to really kind of sit there and focus on it, which is good for the brain, but it's
Mm.
also good to get something to, bounce off of and get new ideas from. So it's tremendous potential here.